Yvonne, have you ever really longed for something but just not been able to have it?
What, you mean like good looks and an attractive personality?
No, I've got those already. I mean something more important. Something that everyone else has got maybe, but you just haven't.
I remember I longed for a pony once and I had to make do with a skateboard.
No, you don't understand. I mean something far more important than that.
Like what?
I'll give you a hint. Imagine it's hot.
Is it a chalk ice?
And you've been out all day in the sun.
A sun hat?
There are people pushing and shoving all round you.
A Rottweiler?
Everyone's standing up, but you've got to sit down.
A chair?
And everything around you looks like this. You can't see a thing.
Oh, it's eyes. The person's blind.
It was a sticky, hot day, and Bart could feel, hear and smell that there were lots of people around him, all hurrying down the main road towards Jericho. I wonder what's going on, thought Bart, as people kept walking over him, falling onto him and tripping into him. This is normally quite a nice spot for begging, but today it feels more like a donkey stampede. Excuse me, he said as someone's foot landed in his lap. That's my sandwiches. But it was too late. Bart had to pick up the squashy mess that had been his lunch as he slowly, falteringly tried to get to his feet. I'd better find out what's going on, he thought. Stop shoving, said an angry young voice in his left ear. Ow! You're poking me in the ribs, said someone else. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, said Bart. I'm trying to get up and I can't see what I'm doing. But nobody bothered to reply. I'll listen and see if I can work out what all the fuss is about, thought Bart, as a third person nearly knocked him flying. I've heard that he's terrific, said one voice rushing past. He's cured that nasty skin complaint that our Judith's had for years. And old Eli's mum-in-law says her feet have been ever so much better since she saw him, said another voice. He must be some sort of a doctor, thought Bart. Then someone mentioned the name of Jesus. Jesus, is it? Thought Bart to himself. No wonder there's all this commotion. I've heard that Jesus can do anything. And then a wonderful idea sneaked its way into Bart's mind. If Jesus can do anything, why can't he make these eyes of mine see? Bart had never thought much about seeing before. This was because Bart had always been blind, and he'd never let himself hope for what he knew he couldn't have. But suddenly, Bart wanted to see very, very badly. I want to be like everybody else, he thought. I want to know what the colour pink looks like. I want to know what a face looks like. I want to know what my brothers and sisters look like. I want to see! I want to see! He almost shouted. At that instant, he not only knew that he wanted to see, but he knew that it was possible, and that Jesus could do it, if he could only get his attention. Right then, here goes, said Bart. He waited until the next person nearly knocked him down, then pointed himself in the direction that the person was going in, opened his mouth, and began to scream. Jesus! Jesus! If you're there, can you come and help me, please? Shh, said the people around him, but Bart screamed all the more. Jesus! Jesus! Help me, please! And no matter what they did to try to hush him up, Bart would not be quiet. Jesus! Jesus! He screamed until his face went purple and all his ribs ached. Oh, Jesus! Bart half prayed, half whimpered. Please, please come and help me. And with that, he sank to his knees, exhausted. What Bart didn't realise was that there were at least 50 rows of people standing between where he was and Jesus. Whatever noise he made, it was very, very unlikely that Jesus would ever hear him. Jesus was just about to enter the town of Jericho. He'd been teaching people all day and healing those who were ill, and now he wanted to be on his way. But just as he reached the city gates, he heard the faint sound of someone calling his name. Oh, Jesus! Please, please, come and help me! It was Bart's last cry, but a sudden warm wind from the River Jordan brought it straight to Jesus' ears. Jesus turned round. "Bring the man who called to me," he said, pointing in the direction that Bart had been calling from. A few people muttered and looked surly.
"Why should Jesus ask for him?"
demanded one.
"I'm at the front of the queue. And what about my verrucas?"
But sure enough, the message was carried off. "Bring the man who called to Jesus! Bring the man who called to Jesus!" The word went back through rows and rows of waiting crowd. A few minutes later, Bart appeared. He had been half dragged, half carried through the angry crowd and was almost black and blue. He was also wheezing a lot from all that shouting. He was dumped at Jesus' feet, a crumpled wreck. "What can I do for you?" said Jesus. Bart looked up. The poor white eyes that never had let light in looked towards Jesus blankly.
"It's all right," thought Bart. "He won't be angry with me, even if everybody else is." "Well, sir, it's like this," he said. "I'd like to see."
"Course you would," said Jesus, "and you've trusted in me, so you will not be let down." "Be well," he said. And at that moment, for the first time in his life, Bart's brain was filled with colour. "Ah!" went Bart as light flooded in, and "ah!" went the crowd as they saw Bart leap to his feet. Everything was moving very fast. Bart could make out shapes swirling all around him. First of all, everything was fuzzy and blurry, but then lines started to become clearer. Bart started bouncing up and down. He was so excited. "Wow! Whoopee, Jesus!" shouted Bart. "I can see! I can see!" "Yes, I know," laughed Jesus. Then all the crowd started crying, "Jesus made a blind man see!"
"This miracle's definitely worth dancing for,"
cried the man who grumbled earlier. It seemed that everybody was shouting, cheering and waving. Everybody, that is, except Jesus and Bart. They just looked at each other and smiled.
"Thank you,"
said Bart. Jesus just nodded. And laughing, dancing and shouting praises to God, they all went into Jericho together.
Well, that was pretty amazing, wasn't it?
Amazing. It's just so wonderful how Jesus cared for that man, even though he was standing at the back.
No one else had even noticed him.
In fact, they were pretty horrible to him. I like this Jesus. I really do. I wish there were more people like him today.
What's wrong with Jesus himself? He's still around, you know. It's just you can't see him anymore, but you can chat to him just the same.
You really believe in this Jesus, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Prove it to me.
I can't. You have to try it for yourself. But I guarantee if you try Jesus, he won't let you down.